We've got to be able to go in with our eyes wide open, knowing there's going to be ups and downs in life. I can tell you personally that my most disappointing things that ever happened in my life, personally or professionally, ended up being the things I learned from the most, and I put to work for the future, and I would have never been able to progress toward where I wanted to go if I didn't have those tough moments.
You cannot turn your head. So you're going to have your head facing forward. You're allowed to look side to side. Everybody understand? And all you're going to do is describe the room. So Ernie, I want you to go first. Ernie, you're the person in the front row. You're the closest one to the leader. I want you to keep your head facing forward and tell me what you see in the room. It's not a trick question. What you see?
A whole bunch of nothing.
A whole bunch of nothing.
Just sitting there.
He sees one row full of people. This is usually called an executive team. He said they're doing a whole bunch of nothing. That's for another session. No, but really, these people in the front, they look like they're doing nothing. These are usually the thinkers up here. And so what happens is all of these people, when they look forward, they look into nothing, don't they?
So don't be disappointed that the reality is there's going to be ups and downs. Know that there are. Know that we can learn from them. Some of my teams got so much better after we lost the game. It was like, oh man, now I know what we need to do better. Man, I learned from that. Everyone was telling me we were unbeatable. We were wonderful. Now I learned a lesson. So step number 3, you got to handle success and adversity. And lastly, step number 4 that I want you to put in your phone is believe. B-E-L-I-E-V-E. Believe. I remember when we first went to Youngstown State University many, many years ago, I met with the team for the first time, and I said, hey, you guys, we're going to be the national champions. And they kind of snickered and say, we've never done that. I don't know anyone that's ever done that. I don't even know what it takes to do that. They kind of rolled their eyeballs and so forth and so on. I said, no, guys, we're going to dream about that. We're going to create a plan that can lead us toward that. We're going to do the work that it takes to move towards that. We're going to handle the ups and downs because, excuse me, there's going to be some years, some games, some moments in the game where it's not going the way we wanted, and we're going to learn from it. But until we believe in ourselves, you have to believe in yourself. If you want an employer or someone else to believe in you, it starts with you believing in you, and that's what's so great about you being here today, and that's why increasing your excellence is what it's all about, because you've shown that you've got excellence. But ultimately, you have to believe that you can reach your dreams. We have to believe that. We'll never, no matter how hard we work, no matter how good our plan is, no matter how well we handle the ups and downs, until we believe, there's no way we'll get it done. In fact, I asked them to consider memorizing a poem. And they said, well, it's kind of corny, memorizing a poem. I said, yeah, and I want you to memorize this poem, and I want you to say it occasionally to yourself. Because sometimes we need to talk ourselves into believing that we can, reminding ourselves that we can do anything that we set our minds to, that we put the work into. And the poem, now this was back in 1986, so bear with me, make sure I remember the poem. But it goes like this. Somebody said that it couldn't be done. But she with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't. But she would be one who wouldn't say so till she tried. So she buckled right in with a trace of a grin. On her face, if she worried, she hid it. And she started to sing as she tackled the thing that couldn't be done. And she did it. And I asked them to learn that and remind themselves. There's going to be a lot of people in your life telling you, oh, you can't do that. There's going to be moments where it's not going in the direction that points toward you being able to do that. That's when we have to remind ourselves that we've got to believe in ourselves. We've got to believe, regardless of what's being said out there, regardless of how we're getting bombarded on our phones and on our social media and distracted by some people that may have the same kinds of dreams we have to remind ourselves that we can. Somebody said that it couldn't be done. That's okay. But she, with a chuckle, replied, maybe it couldn't. But she would be one who wouldn't say so till she tried. So she buckled right in with a trace of a grin on her face. If she worried, she hid it. And she started to sing as she tackled the thing that couldn't be done. And she did it. Now, these are challenging times. We have such a need for our next generation of leaders and workers and difference makers. We need you so bad. We need you to increase your excellence. We need you to reach your dreams. We need every one of you. And I'll end with this. All those years that I was a head coach, before the game, whether we were playing in front of 20,000 at Youngstown State or 106,000 at Ohio State, national television, 40 million people watching, we were nervous. Didn't matter how well we prepared or how good we thought we were nervous.
So you asked me, what's my definition of success?
Yeah.
Success is the inner satisfaction, the peace of mind, knowing I did the best I could possibly do for the group. So the group might be my family, my school, my community, my business, my country. The inner satisfaction, the peace of mind, knowing I did the best I could possibly do for the group. That's my definition.
So it's a combination between the amount of you focusing on peace, but I think this is my interpretation of what you're saying. It might be different, but it's a combination between like the maximum peace, the maximum resources, and the maximum achievement of fulfillment. You can
Yeah, the peace
do.
of mind knowing, you know what, I did the best I could.
Yeah. And I made the best out right.
Right.
That's what.
That's it. You got it.